The All Seats Matter movement seems ready for takeoff. According to an op-ed in the Washington Post, airline seats are the new civil rights issue. Passengers' rights groups want the government to regulate the amount of legroom airlines provide. We have the right to a certain amount of space when we're traveling, says Christopher Elliott, one of the founders of the group Travelers United. It's true. Passenger legroom has declined over the years from about 35 inches in the 1970s to about 31 inches today. Seat width has gone from 20 inches to about 17. But you know what else has shrunk since the 70s? The cost of flying. Back then, getting on an airplane was a luxury that few could afford. Look at this jagged line going down. That's remarkably similar to what a chart backed up by real data would look like if I bothered to make one. Basically, we wanted cheap flights, and we got them. So celebrate and see the world. Just remember to follow my tips for comfortable travel. Don't bring anything on the plane. You don't need stuff with you. Just your phone and maybe a granola bar. 2, don't plan on being comfortable. A lot of the discomfort of flying has to do with expectations. Think like an astronaut on a mission. You could stretch your legs later. 3, no working. Laptops are for losers. And no one really gets anything done on the plane anyway. Answer a few emails on your phone and then catch up on a podcast. Bon voyage. Joanne, you probably don't even realize the only people that used to fly were Frank Sinatra and Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember, like, my parents never really flew until they were older. I feel like a lot of parents, my friends' parents, were the same way, too. And it used to be like a wonderful thing. People dressed up for it and whatever, but now everyone likes to complain. And I think it's because you are in a very vulnerable position when you're flying. You are not in control of really anything. Your safety, the time, you know, what you can eat, like all of that kind of stuff. So people want to take control of something. So they complain and they want their space back. And I don't know, if you don't like it so much, buy a better ticket or don't fly.
There you go. Great point, Joanne. People are not in control. So that's why you have to give up control. And that's what I'm talking about, the astronaut thing. You just got to get in there and you got to hunker down, right, Paul?
Yeah, just be in your bubble.
Yes.
And just go to sleep, take whatever pill you need to, and just get through it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I understand it's uncomfortable, and I don't think we should take any more grief from airlines. But at the same time, calling it a human rights violation, or get over yourself. I mean, you're talking about, like, there's buildings collapsing on people in Bangladesh. And, you know, if in unsafe work conditions, you're going to compare your knee. Like, I can't stretch out in my backpack with all my precious treasures.
I mean, this guy, he obviously, he's probably travels a lot, right?
Sure.
So he starts to think it is just as important as the people in Bangladesh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure he does. It's an uncomfortable reality. Traveling for work really loses its shine real fast. It seems real great to everybody who doesn't travel for work, but the reality
I know,
is,
I wish I could.
Yeah, everybody says that. Yeah, they always say, it's like, oh, you travel, right? It's like, yeah, I don't have any friends or any stability in my life. And, I'm always broke.
Matt,
$12 apples.
Deregulation made travel affordable, all right? So people forget to look on the bright side.
It's amazing. You get these think pieces in crappy lefty magazines about once a year about how we need to re-regulate the airlines because I had a really bad experience on American last week, kind of thing. And no, I mean, it's exactly right. I mean, people didn't travel. Like a fraction of the population traveled back when the government sort of controlled and there was only 4 different airlines doing things. The degradation of language needs to be pointed out here, the human rights violation. There was a thing that came out a couple of weeks ago, an actual headline in The Atlantic, which is an ostensibly serious magazine, saying, is gentrification a human rights violation? It's like, let me think about that. What are you even talking about? I mean, talk about like first world problems here. When we're talking about like minor discomfort, and I mean, you're a tall man. It's actually more than minor discomfort to be on a 5-hour flight, given your girth and spindly legs and all that kind of stuff. That's why God invented alcohol, among other things. But
I don't even drink. And I don't recline my chair.
You should try both of those.
You're a good man for not reclining your chair, by the way.
Yeah, you got to keep the chair up and maybe have a chat with the person in front of you and make sure they don't recline. The thing is, once someone reclines, you know, everybody has to because of the way it's set up.
It's broken windows.
Yeah. They should. I think that's one thing. The airlines, it shouldn't be done by the government, but the airlines should stop that reclining. It doesn't help anybody.
I've never heard a bad reclining story experience that didn't make me hate both parts.
Yes.
people in both seats
Yeah.
acting horribly. I think the future is clear that the future belongs to women should be breeding with shorter men like me because my stubby-legged brethren were much more comfortable in the flight. So what I thought was interesting was that as seat width has been going down at the opposite rate that asses have been expanding, so pretty soon, the planes are getting smaller while Leon's getting larger, and it's going to be like a balance beam pretty soon that overweight people are just sort of maintaining a balance the whole flight.
Yeah.
Very, very straight. I mean, I'm a short dude. I find the seats uncomfortable, but hey, you can take the bus if you want to try real discomfort.
It's uncomfortable compared to your easy chair at home, but it's more comfortable than the subway, isn't it?
Comfortable being on a boat with rats running over you and a hull of something.
It's all perspective. That's why, travelers, it's all a mind game, okay? Hunker down.